Yes. Uh, Good evening, all of you. So we have seen last time about the application of AC to the inductor, करेक्ट है? तो जब ऑल्टरनेटिंग सप्लाई जो है, ऑल्टरनेटिंग सोर्स जो है, वो जब हम इंडक्टर को अप्लाई करते हैं तो होता क्या है कि सबसे पहले हम बात करते हैं कि इंड्यूस्ड ईएमएफ और द अप्लाइड ईएमएफ हियर इज गोइंग टू बी ऑल्टरनेटिंग. सो वी कैन सी दैट इट विल बी ई इक्वल टू ई नॉट साइन ओमेगा टी. ठीक है. और जो ये जो इंड्यूस्ड ईएमएफ है उसका इस करंट के साथ क्या रिलेशनशिप है, तो वो हम यहाँ पे देखते हैं कि बैक ईएमएफ जो है, सबसे पहले हमको ये बात करना है बैक ईएमएफ विच इज प्रोड्यूस्ड इन दिस कॉइल by the Faraday's law will actually be given by minus of L into di by dt. And in order to oppose that back EMF, the applied EMF has to be negative of the back EMF. So E becomes equal to minus of EB, and EB is equal to minus of L di by dt. So if we just put this value here, then we can be able to get that this E is equal to minus of minus L di by dt, which is going to be L simply L di by dt. Correct? So this is the value of E, that is equal to L into di by dt. And just by after putting this E naught sin omega t instead of this E here, we can just be able to find out this I. करंट I निकालना हमारा यहाँ पे एम है. तो ये करंट निकालने के लिए हमने क्या किया, यहाँ पे E के बदले E नॉट sin ओमेगा t डाल दिया, इस L को नीचे लाए और dt को इस तरफ लेके गए, तो इससे हमको ये मिल गया. देखो L को नीचे चला भेज दिया तो ये di by dt का वैल्यू हमको मिल गया, और dt को उस तरफ लेके जाएंगे तो di का वैल्यू हमको मिल जाएगा जो कि e नॉट बाय l sin omega t into dt. करेक्ट है? एंड इफ वी इंटीग्रेट बोथ साइड्स then we can get this integration of di is equal to integration of this e naught by l into sin omega t dt, out of which this e naught by l can be taken out because it's constant, and hence sin omega t dt का इंटीग्रेशन जो कि आपको पता है ऑलरेडी माइनस cos ओमेगा t, एंड t का कोएफिशिएंट ओमेगा है इसलिए यहाँ पे डिवाइड बाय ओमेगा, और di का इंटीग्रेशन as usual it is I, no doubt, and this I becomes actually equal to e naught by omega l into cos omega t. And now if we just put this e naught by omega l as a fixed value, that is the constant value, that is maximum value of current, then we can call it as I naught and just get it as I is equal to minus of I naught cos omega t. And now finally, in order to express this minus cos omega t in terms of sine, we have expressed this cos theta as sine omega sine 90 minus theta according to that formula. Cos theta is equal to sine 90 minus theta. So we have expressed this as cos omega t as sine of pi by 2 minus omega t. But because of this minus sign here, this signs will change. So it will be omega t minus pi by 2 inside the bracket. And just by comparing this equation with this one here, we can just conclude that EMF leads and current lags behind the EMF with a phase angle of pi by 2 रेडियन. तो pi by 2 रेडियन से ये जो करंट है वो लैग करता है और EMF लीड करता है. और इनके जो ग्राफ्स है तो वो ग्राफ्स हम देख सकते हैं इस तरह से. EMF का जो ग्राफ है वो नॉर्मल साइनसोइडल कर्व है, लेकिन करंट का जो ग्राफ है तो वो नीचे से स्टार्ट होता है, which is showing that this current is lagging behind the EMF by phase angle of pi by 2 radian. Because if we just delete this portion of this current, तो करंट के ग्राफ में से इतना पोर्शन अगर हमने हटा दिया तो बाकी जो रिमेनिंग पार्ट है it is very similar to the graph of EMF, and that's why it is said that the current lags behind the EMF with a phase angle of pi by 2 radian. And then again we can just see that this E naught by omega n happens to be I naught. करेक्ट है? तो ये यहाँ पे जो हमने लिया था कि E naught by omega n is equal to I naught होता है, तो उसको यूज करके हमने E naught और I naught का रेशियो ढूंढ के निकाला. ठीक है? तो E naught upon I naught happens to be omega l, and this if you just divide by root 2 both numerator as well as denominator, then you can just get this as E naught by root 2 upon I naught by root 2, which happens to be omega l. And E naught by root 2 can be written as E RMS as we know already, and I naught by root 2 can be written as I RMS, that is the effective values of EMF and current. If we substitute them here, then the ratio of ERMS to IRMS happens to be omega L. But according to the definition, already we have defined the ratio of ERMS to IRMS can be defined as the inductive reactance. Inductive reactance, which is the ability of that reactance, or ability of that inductor to oppose the current, oppose AC current especially. The opposition of inductor to the AC current is actually called as the inductive reactance, and it is denoted by XL, and its formula is omega into L. Remember carefully, omega into L, where omega stands for this angular frequency and L stands for the inductive inductance, self inductance of that coil. Simply, ओके okay? अभी एक ये जो फॉर्मूला है इसके बारे में हम थोड़ा और ज्यादा डिस्कस करेंगे, जो हमको अभी मिला है एज रिजल्ट ऑफ दिस होल डेरिवेशन, दैट इज xl is equal to omega into L. What does this formula tells us? See here, okay, this inductor has its reactance given by xl is equal to omega into L, which can also be written as xl is equal to, if omega is substituted by 2 pi f as we know already, then we can just be able to get that xl is equal to 2 pi f into L. Okay, 2 pi f is the expression of omega in terms of frequency, where f stands for frequency, remember, and hence we can just say that this xl, that means the inductive reactance, is directly proportional to the frequency of AC source, and at the same time this xl is directly proportional to the self inductance also of the coil. तो coil का self inductance जितना ज्यादा होगा उतना उसका opposition ज्यादा होगा, ये हमको समझना है अच्छी तरह से. The more is the self inductance, more will be the opposition granted by this coil to the flow of AC current. Okay, and at the same time more frequency, more is the opposition again. तो ये opposition जो है वो सिर्फ self inductance पे ही नहीं डिपेंड करता है, बल्कि ये जो opposition है इंडक्टर का वो उस AC source के frequency के ऊपर भी डिपेंड करता है. That means how fast the AC source is changing, that also matters a lot here. So basically जितना frequency बढ़ता जाएगा तो उतना इसका opposition भी बढ़ता जाएगा, मतलब resistance भी बढ़ता जाएगा. ये XL मतलब क्या है? Ability to oppose the AC current of this inductor. तो वो भी बढ़ता जाएगा जैसे frequency बढ़ेगा. So that means if there is a slowly changing current, then the opposition of this inductor for that current will be very small. That means that current will be allowed to flow to the more extent or greater extent than a current which flows with a high frequency. अगर वही magnitude का current, उतने ही magnitude का current अगर high frequency के साथ अगर flow होता है, जैसे for example if we have a graph of the current like this, मतलब EMF का ग्राफ जो है वो अगर ऐसा है तो उस केस में हमको जो करंट मिलेगा वो कम मिलेगा. देखो EMF का जो वेरिएशन है वो अगर इस तरह से है, अब यहाँ पे हम देख सकते हैं कि फ्रीक्वेंसी जो है वो कुछ है जो भी है. अभी सपोज अगर मान लो कि अनदर ग्राफ हम ड्रॉ करते हैं जिसके अंदर फ्रीक्वेंसी बहुत ही ज्यादा है, देखो ठीक से, here the frequency is very much large, and if we allow this EMF to flow through the same inductor, then the current, RMS current, will get decreased. That means the frequency matters a lot. तो मतलब EMF का मैग्नीट्यूड तो वही है, मैक्सिमम वैल्यू उतना ही है, लेकिन अगर फ्रीक्वेंसी बढ़ गया तो मोर फ्रीक्वेंसी विल बी मोर opposed by this inductor. That means inductor शॉर्ट में कैसे रख सकते हैं इसको कि inductor always opposes high frequencies and passes the low frequencies. Low frequencies को वो easily pass करता है, that means उसका खुद का opposition उसके लिए कम होता है, लेकिन high frequencies को वो बहुत मुश्किल से pass करता है inductor जो है, और उसके high frequencies के लिए उसका opposition बहुत ज्यादा होता है. तो frequency ज्यादा, opposition भी ज्यादा, frequency कम, opposition भी कम, frequency zero, opposition भी zero. देखो ठीक से, frequency zero होने का मतलब क्या है? That means the EMF is not changing at all. That means it's constant. And if it is constant, then why we can't call it as a AC then? We can call it as DC. That means it will become DC. Okay, remember the EMF whose frequency is zero. That means the EMF is DC, means constant voltage. So if we have the constant voltage applied across this inductor here, then its resistance will also become zero for that. ये बहुत बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट बात है जो कि एमसीक्यूज के अंदर याद रखो, ठीक से पकड़ सकते हैं कि the reactor or inductive reactance of the inductor always becomes zero when frequency becomes 0, that means inductor doesn't oppose the DC current. actually DC वोल्टेज को वो अपोज नहीं करता है। DC वोल्टेज अगर हमने यहाँ पे लगा दिया तो उसके लिए उसका रेजिस्टेंस 0 होगा। हाँ, उस समय फिर उसका जो नॉर्मल रेजिस्टेंस है, ओम वाला रेजिस्टेंस, वो वहां पे काम में आएगा। या तो ठीक से, so ohmic resistance will play its role only when this inductive reactance is not present at all. Okay, it will become significant in that case. But if suppose inductive reactance is significant in that case, so उस केस में फिर यहाँ पे ohmic resistance बहुत छोटा हो जाएगा। That will doesn't matter in that case. तो ये हमको अच्छी तरह समझना है। तो ये बात अच्छी तरह समझ के लो, ठीक है? इसमें कुछ डाउट है तो पूछो फटाफट। Okay, the next part here is the application of AC to a capacitor. Okay, अभी इंडक्टर के बारे में हमने देख लिया, अभी हमको बात करनी है कैपेसिटर के बारे में। एप्लीकेशन ऑफ AC to a capacitor. Okay, so before doing that, I will just like to do the last derivation by another way, another method, which I have explained orally last time. देखो, application of AC to an inductor. Okay, इंडक्टर वाला जो डेरिवेशन हमारा था वो हम एक थोड़ा सा अलग मेथड से करेंगे। जो लास्ट टाइम हमने मेथड यूज किया था उसके अंदर हमने ईएमएफ से स्टार्ट किया था और करंट तक पहुंचे थे। बट अभी हम क्या करेंगे, देखो ठीक से, वी कैन डू दिस ऑल्सो। दिस इज सपोज द इंडक्टर एंड सपोज दिस इज द करंट I, which is taken as a reference, and current is taken as I naught sin omega t, and we are going to start from current. देखो, after all both of these, current as well as EMF, both of them are variable, both of them are sinusoidal, both of them are alternating, so we can start from any one of them and just find out other one. तो लास्ट डेरिवेशन हमने क्या किया था, EMF एज्यूम किया था, EMF का एक्सप्रेशन हमने स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट पे लिया था, E इज इक्वल टू E नॉट साइन ओमेगा टी, बराबर। और उस EMF के इक्वेशन से हमने करंट का एक्सप्रेशन फाइंड आउट किया था, बराबर। लेकिन अभी हम क्या कर रहे हैं, उल्टा कर रहे हैं। अभी हम करंट से ही स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं। लेट द करंट फ्लोइंग थ्रू दिस सर्किट is given by this I is equal to I naught sin omega t. Okay, and then we'll just try to find out the EMF in this circuit. So in order to find out that, we will use this equation for the inductor, that is E back. याद है, E back is equal to क्या होता है, इंडक्टर के अंदर कितना बैक EMF पैदा होता है, वो दिया जाता है माइनस ऑफ L इंटू डी आई बाई डी टी। इस फॉर्मूला से दिया जाता है, करेक्ट है। अभी ये जो E back है, ये इंडक्टर के अंदर पैदा होने वाला EMF है, जो कि यहाँ पे इस अप्लाइड ईएमएफ के द्वारा अपोज किया जाएगा, क्योंकि इस पूरे सर्किट के अंदर बाकी दूसरा कोई ईएमएफ है ही नहीं। और अगर इस सर्किट का रेजिस्टेंस 0 है तो उस केस में हम बोल सकते हैं कि ईएमएफ यहाँ पे बैक ईएमएफ जो इस इंडक्टर के अंदर पैदा होता है, और जो ईएमएफ यहाँ पे पैदा हो रहा है, अप्लाइड किया हुआ जो ईएमएफ है, उसको हम ई अप्लाइड बोल देंगे। तो दिस बोथ ऑफ दिस ईएमएफ्स विल जस्ट बी ऑपोजिट टू ईच अदर, दैट मींस वी कैन जस्ट से अप्लाइड ईएमएफ here must be actually equal to minus of back EMF, and hence we can just put this value of back EMF here and just be able to get that E applied will be equal to minus of minus L di by dt. All these steps are exactly same as we have done last time, and then in the next step we can just get this as applied EMF to be simply equal to minus of minus plus, and we get this L into di by dt. But the next step here is going to be that this I has to be substituted here, so that we can get this E applied, which is simply E only, उसको हम E बोल सकते हैं आराम से। It will be equal to L into d by dt of I, where I is nothing but this I naught sin omega t, correct है? So this is I naught sin omega t, and then we can just be able to get that EMF, applied EMF here in this circuit will actually be equal to L into I naught is a constant, can be taken out, and hence we can get this I naught into derivative of only sin omega t will be left as it is, correct है? But as we already know that this derivative of sin omega t happens to be simply cos omega t into omega, correct है? Because t का कोएफिशिएंट कौन है उधर, ओमेगा है। तो इसलिए नेक्स्ट स्टेप में क्या आ जाएगा यहाँ पे, L into I naught into ओमेगा into sin ओमेगा टी का डेरिवेटिव cos ओमेगा टी, करेक्ट है। जिससे ये जो पूरा है वैल्यू, इसको हम कैपिटल I नॉट रख देंगे या सिंपली I नॉट रख देंगे। हाँ, ई नॉट रख देंगे, ई नॉट, क्योंकि वो ई का मैक्सिमम वैल्यू दिख रहा है, इसलिए ये इसको अगर हमने ई नॉट से रिप्लेस कर दिया तो दिस होल चक विल बिकम ई नॉट एंड दिस cos ओमेगा टी विल बी केप्ट एज इट इज, and then we will be able to compare this EMF equation for current with the equation for EMF, which is actually going to be E naught into cos omega t, where we can just write this as E naught into cos है ना यहाँ पे, तो cos को हमको sin के फॉर्म में एक्सप्रेस करना है, लेकिन ओमेगा टी को नेगेटिव मत बनने दो, तो उसके लिए हमको यहाँ पे ऐसा करना होगा, this cos will be converted into sin and here in the bracket it will be omega t plus pi by 2, which can be compared here with this equation for the current here. So if we just compare, then we can come to know that EMF has a phase angle of omega t plus pi by 2, whereas current has a phase angle of omega t only, which means that EMF once again is found to be leading, whereas current is found to be lagging behind the EMF by the phase angle of pi by 2 radian. And if we just draw the graphs of these two, then again we can just get the same thing. करंट का ग्राफ जो है वो हमको ऐसा मिलेगा, नो डाउट, और ईएमएफ का जो ग्राफ है वो हमको ओमेगा टी प्लस पाई बाय 2 होने के कारण ऐसा मिलेगा, जो ईएमएफ के जो भी वैल्यूज होंगे तो वो करंट लेगा आफ्टर सम टाइम, मतलब जो करंट ने अभी ये वैल्यू ले लिया है वो वैल्यू ईएमएफ ने ऑलरेडी पहले ही ले चुका है, तो मतलब ये ईएमएफ जो है वो पहले ही यहाँ पे 0 बन चुका है, और यहाँ पे करंट इधर मैक्सिमम बनता है, ईएमएफ विल बिकम मैक्सिमम हियर ओनली, ऑलरेडी वो इस पॉइंट पे ही मैक्सिमम बन चुका है, करंट यहाँ पे 0 बनता है, ईएमएफ विल बिकम 0 एट दिस पॉइंट ओनली, इवन करंट यहाँ पे मिनिमम बनता है, नेगेटिव बनता है, ईएमएफ पहले ही नेगेटिव बन चुका होगा, उसके पहले थोड़ा देर पहले यहाँ पे करंट 0 बन रहा है, ईएमएफ यहाँ पे ही पहले ही 0 बन चुका होगा, एंड सो ऑन लाइक दिस वी कैन कंटिन्यू इन दिस वे, ओके। So this is the graph of EMF and this will be the graph of current in this case, and these graphs also show the same thing, that is EMF and current have a phase difference of pi by 2 radian, but who is the leader? EMF, and who is the lagger? Current, ठीक है, current lags behind the EMF by the phase angle of pi by 2 radian, because currents take the same values as they are taken by EMF sometimes before, right? And ratio of these two, that is current and EMF, तो वो भी हम यहाँ से निकाल सकते हैं, क्योंकि E नॉट का वैल्यू क्या है हमको मिल रहा है, हमने E नॉट कहाँ पे रिप्लेस किया था, ओमेगा एल इंटू आई नॉट के लिए हमने E नॉट रिप्लेस किया था, तो इसलिए ये ओमेगा एल इंटू आई नॉट ये बन गया हमारा E नॉट का वैल्यू, जिसको हम अगर रीअरेंज करेंगे ठीक से तो हमको मिलेगा E नॉट अपॉन आई नॉट इज इक्वल टू ओमेगा एल, एंड दिस E नॉट अपॉन आई नॉट कैन ऑल्सो बी रिटन एज E आर एम एस अपॉन आई आर एम एस, because we can just divide it by root 2, both numerator as well as denominator. If we just divide these two by root 2, then this becomes ERMS, this will become IRMS, and the ratio of these two happens to be omega L, and this ratio is actually defined as the XL, that is the inductive reactance, which happens to be omega L. The same derivation we have done from the another method, okay, by using another method in which we have started with the current and arrived at a EMF, and believe me this method will also work in exam, ठीक है, एग्जाम में भी हमको ये हम कर सकते हैं, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, because after all current as well as EMF are going to be sinusoidal, or both of them are going to be alternating. We can start from any one of them and reach at the other, whatever is convenient you can just select as per your choice. Okay, so this is all about the second method. If you want to take a screenshot, just make it fast, and then we can just discuss about the capacitor. Yes. Now just talk about the application of AC to this capacitor. तो अगर एक AC सोर्स है हमारे पास और उसके साथ हमने अगर एक कैपेसिटर कनेक्ट करके रखा है, तो इस AC सोर्स का जो आउटपुट है इट विल बी इन द फॉर्म ऑफ दिस EMF which is given by E naught sin omega t, because it is going to be alternating, no doubt. So this is the expression for alternating EMF which is obtained as output of this AC source. Okay, now कैपेसिटर का प्रॉपर्टी क्या है, हमने देखा था लास्ट टाइम जो इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक्स जो चैप्टर हमने किया था, तो उसके अंदर हमने देखा कि व्हेनेवर कैपेसिटर इज कनेक्टेड टू अ बैटरी ऑफ सम वोल्टेज V सपोज, तो उस केस में होता क्या है ना कि द चार्जिंग प्रोसेस स्टार्ट्स, राइट, एज सुन एज दिस स्विच इज केप्ट ऑन। जैसे हम यहाँ पे स्विच ऑन करते हैं तो क्या होता है, ये कैपेसिटर का चार्जिंग प्रोसेस चालू होता है। दैट मीन्स द चार्जेस आर फॉर्म्ड ऑन दिस पॉजिटिव प्लेट, on one plate which is connected to positive terminal, and the negative charges are formed on this negative plate. Negative plate is one which is connected to this negative terminal, and soon in a fraction of seconds the capacitor becomes fully charged. And in case of this charging state, the total potential difference across this capacitor becomes V, capital V actually, and the charge across this capacitor becomes capital Q, and the ratio of this charge to capital V, that is the potential difference, is called as this capacity of that capacitor. करेक्ट है? तो ये सब हमने किया था कैपेसिटर के बारे में, और ये भी हमने देखा था कि दिस चार्जिंग प्रोसेस may take some time if there is some resistance kept in series with this capacitor. अगर यहाँ पे हमने एक रेजिस्टेंस लगा के रखा है तो करंट विल गेट डिक्रीज्ड, and current will charge this capacitor slowly, and it will take some time. And in that duration, even in that interval, suppose ये starting point है और ये ending point है, तो यहाँ पे starting में क्या होगा, इस कैपेसिटर के अक्रॉस का जो चार्ज है वो जीरो होगा, और उसके अंदर जो पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस जो है वो भी जीरो होगा इनिशियली स्टार्टिंग में। जैसे हम ये स्विच ऑन करते हैं तो उस मोमेंट पे कैपेसिटर हैज जीरो चार्ज एंड जीरो पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस ऑल्सो, नो डाउट। बट एज दिस टाइम गोज ऑन इंक्रीजिंग, ये टाइम जो है वो जैसे हम बढ़ाते जाते हैं तो वैसे वैसे क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पे, the charge as well as potential difference goes on increasing continuously and linearly. Remember, linearly means proportional to each other. So that's why this charge goes on increasing. We can say charge goes on increasing, and the potential difference between the two ends of this capacitor also goes on increasing as time goes on increasing. So at every point we can say Q1 and V1 is going to be the charge and potential difference at this instant. Here it may be like Q2 and V2. It may be here Q3 and V3, and so on like that up to last stage where the charge becomes full. When the charge becomes full, the potential difference also becomes full, and in that case no further charging takes place because the potential difference of the battery is going to be the same as the potential difference across this capacitor. When the potential difference across the capacitor becomes exactly equal to the potential difference of the battery, then and then only this charging process stops, and the maximum charge is stored in this capacitor at that instant. And even if this battery is disconnected, that charge will just remain with the capacitor forever. Okay, forever, unless and until it is discharged through some another resistance. Okay, so this is the property of capacitor. Capacitor has a property to acquire the charge which is in proportional to the potential difference applied across it. So now just try to apply it here. अब यहाँ पे अगर हम देखेंगे तो पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस तो वेरिएबल है जो कि E इक्वल टू E नॉट साइन ओमेगा टी इस फॉर्मूला से दिया जाता है। तो हाउ मच विल बी द चार्ज स्टोर्ड इन दिस कैपेसिटर एट एनी इंस्टेंट ऑफ टाइम t? If we call it as Q, then what is the relationship between this charge and potential difference across this capacitor? So C is going to be the ratio of Q to V. ये जो हमने अभी देखा कि C is always equal to the ratio of Q to V. तो देखिए यहाँ पे Q मतलब क्या है, small q, which is the instantaneous charge formed on the plates of capacitor, which is going to be variable. It is different at different instants. So we can just denote it by small q, and that is to be divided by this potential difference between the two endpoints of this capacitor, which is same as the applied potential difference of the battery, which is going to be small e. So we can just put it as a small e here, and just we can rearrange this and just get this as q is equal to c into e, correct hai? And if we just put this value of e here, then we can just be able to get that q is equal to c into e का वैल्यू जो कि e नॉट साइन ओमेगा टी है, तो वो हमने यहाँ पे डाल दिया, तो जिससे हमको मिलेगा e नॉट साइन ओमेगा टी as a final equation for charge in the capacitor at any instant. But this charge is variable as can be seen from this equation, because this equation contains time t here. So if we just differentiate this equation, then we are going to get the current flowing through this circuit, because whatever current flows through this circuit will be simply the rate of flow of charge, right? So we, according to the definition of the current itself, the current is defined as the rate of flow of charge. That means dq by dt. So if we just put this value of q here, then we can just be able to get the expression for current by just differentiating the equation for charge. That is C E naught sine omega t. And now it is just a matter of differentiation. अगर आपको differentiation आता है तो अब ये इसका next step आराम से guess कर सकते हो what will be it will be. अभी इसमें एक बात याद रखो, C and E naught are going to be the constants, so they can be taken out from this differentiation sign. So I becomes actually equal to C into E naught बाहर, और अंदर में क्या बच रहा है, d by dt of sin omega t only. And now if you just keep this C into E naught as it is, then what is the derivative of sin omega t? So we know that sin x का derivative क्या होता है, cos x. तो यहाँ पे आ जाएगा इसका derivative cos omega t. But don't forget to multiply this by omega because coefficient of t is omega here. And जब derivative निकालते हैं तो t के coefficient से हमको multiply करना पड़ता है, और जब integration निकालते हैं तो t के coefficient से हमको divide करना पड़ता है, याद रखो. तो इसलिए यहाँ पे ओमेगा टी का जो कोएफिशिएंट ओमेगा है वो यहाँ पे मल्टीप्लाई होगा, तो इसलिए वो इस c इंटू ई नॉट के साथ ही जुड़ जाएगा. और इसको हम सिस्टमेटिकली लिख सकते हैं c ई नॉट, या इसको हम लिख सकते हैं इस तरह से ई नॉट इंटू ओमेगा सी. ओके, ई नॉट इंटू ओमेगा सी इंटू ब्रैकेट में आएगा यहाँ पे कॉस ऑफ ओमेगा टी. करेक्ट है, इस तरह से. अभी इस पूरा जो वैल्यू है E naught into omega c, this can be replaced by I naught because it is going to be the maximum value of current. So E naught into omega c, we have to put this to be equal to I naught, and our equation becomes I is equal to I naught into cos omega t. Now we can just see that this equation can be compared with this one here. तो इसके साथ हम compare कर सकते हैं आराम से. If we draw the graph, then we can come to know that EMF has a graph like this, sinusoidal one, no doubt, but the current will have a graph which is cos. It contains cos, right? तो cos होने की वजह से क्या होगा, it will just start from the top point. तो यहाँ से वो top point से वो start करेगा और cosine rule के हिसाब से, मतलब cosine के कर्व के हिसाब से वो आगे बढ़ेगा. And this type of graph will be obtained for current here. Getting it? So in this way, we have obtained the graph of EMF as well as current, which both of them are sinusoidal. Both of them are alternating. But who is the leader? If you see carefully, the graph of current is this one here, and the graph of EMF is this one here. So we can just clearly say that current is going to be the leader. Correct? Whereas EMF is going to be the lagger in this case. Even we can just get this from this equation also. That is I is equal to I naught into cos theta. Cos theta equal to क्या होता है, अगर हमको ओमेगा टी को नेगेटिव नहीं बनने देना है तो cos ओमेगा टी कैन बी रिटन एज साइन ऑफ ओमेगा टी प्लस पाई बाय 2. करेक्ट है. एंड दिस इक्वेशन compared with this one here shows that there is an angle of omega t plus pi by 2 in the phase of current, and whereas the EMF has angle simply omega t only. That means the current का जो एंगल है वो पाई बाय 2 से ज्यादा है, जिसका मतलब ये हुआ कि current is going to be leading here. Current leads the EMF by phase angle of pi by 2 radian. I will write it here. Current leads EMF by pi by 2 radian. Or we can just write this in a reverse way, that EMF lags current by the same angle, that is pi by 2 radian. Okay, if we just compare this with the last derivation जिसमें हमने एप्लीकेशन ऑफ AC टू इंडक्टर किया था, तो इंडक्टर में क्या हुआ था आपको याद होगा, EMF लीड्स द करंट बाय पाई बाय 2 रेडियन था, याद है ना. और यहाँ पे करंट लैग्स EMF बाय पाई बाय 2 रेडियन था, तो उसके अंदर करंट लैग करता था और EMF लीड कर रहा था, जबकि यहाँ पे करंट लीड कर रहा है और EMF lag कर रहा है, but the phase angle is again the same, that is pi by 2, no doubt. So this is the strange thing, that is opposite thing we have to remember here in case of capacitor. One more thing we have to remember is what we have replaced this I naught for, See here, I naught is replaced for this E naught omega c. From this we can just find out the ratio of ERMS to IRMS. For that we will have to find out the ratio of E naught to I naught. E naught to I naught ratio हमको ढूंढ के निकालना होगा. So let us try to do it. We have E naught into omega c is actually going to be I naught, right? So if you want to find out the ratio of E naught and I naught, then just transfer this I naught in the denominator in this side and omega c को भी उस साइड में ट्रांसफर कर दो, तो हमको मिलेगा E naught upon I naught is equal to 1 upon omega c. करेक्ट है, 1 upon omega c. And this E naught upon I naught just by dividing by root 2 can be converted into ERMS upon IRMS, which will be written as ERMS upon IRMS becomes actually equal to 1 upon omega c. And this ERMS upon IRMS is actually defined as the resistance of this capacitor, but it is not called resistance. What is it called is reactance. As we have seen it last time also, in case of the inductor, the opposition granted by the inductor to the flow of AC current is called as inductive reactance. So in the same way here, the opposition granted by this capacitor to the flow of AC current is called as the capacitive reactance. Remember, capacitive reactance. So, and capacitive reactance is always denoted by XC. So here we can just denote it by XC, and this XC happens to be simply 1 upon omega c. If we just put this value of omega as 2 pi f here, then we can just be able to get this formula for XC in terms of the frequency, that is 1 upon 2 pi fc. correct है, which shows there's two facts here. यहाँ से हमको दो बातें पता चलती है. One is that XC, that is the capacitive reactance, is inversely proportional to the frequency or चलो capacitance, and this XC is also inversely proportional to the frequency of AC source. Remember, तो AC source का frequency जितना ज्यादा होगा उतना capacitive reactance उल्टा कम हुआ करता है. That means capacitor always passes high frequency currents easily, whereas it blocks the low frequency currents and doesn't pass the low frequency currents easily. That means the low frequency currents are blocked by the capacitor, whereas high frequency currents are easily passed by this capacitor. तो capacitor का property क्या है? To pass the high frequency currents easily, but to block the low frequency currents. And what will happen to the resistance or capacitive reactance if the frequency itself becomes zero? Frequency zero बन गया तो क्या होगा? अभी frequency अगर zero बन गया तो 1 upon 0 will become infinite, and hence the inductive capacitive reactance will become infinity when frequency becomes zero. What does it means practically is frequency zero होने का मतलब क्या है? DC source, DC बन गया वो, तो there is no longer AC here, but there is a DC source which is connected to a capacitor here. तो कैपेसिटर के साथ अगर हमने ये बैटरी जोड़ दिया तो within a fraction of seconds this capacitor will just acquire the same charge which is proportional to the potential difference across the battery, and once this capacitor is charged, current will stop completely. No current will flow further after this charging of capacitor is complete. तो जैसे ये कैपेसिटर फुल चार्ज हो जाता है उसके बाद उसके अंदर कोई करंट फ्लो होने वाला नहीं है. The current will just stop, and when current is stopped we can call it as a open circuit, and since it is an open circuit its resistance is going to be infinite because zero current is flowing through it, right? So current ही खत्म हो गया ना, current ही zero हो गया. तो अगर current zero है तो इसका मतलब उसका opposition कितना हुआ? Infinite हो गया, सबसे ज्यादा हो गया. इसलिए हम बोल सकते हैं यहाँ पे कि whenever the capacitor is used with DC, its resistance becomes infinite. That means capacitive reactance becomes infinite when it is connected to DC source. But when it is connected to AC source, its reactance is not zero, but it increases with the frequency of AC source. जितना AC source का frequency ज्यादा होगा उतना इसका resistance या capacitive reactance भी ज्यादा होगा. So that is the meaning of this say that capacitive reactance is inversely proportional to this frequency of this AC source. Okay. चलो इसमें अगर कुछ डाउट है तो पूछो, जस्ट अनम्यूट करके, या तो फिर इसका स्क्रीनशॉट ले लो फटाफट।